Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. I'm Chris with M7 Metalworks. We got a new project in the shop today. It's actually an old new project. You guys may remember the Super 55. My buddy Clint's brought it back to the shop. If you recall, we did a bunch of seal replacement, and I think we did the brake cross shaft seals on, did a video on that, and I thought something else. Can you remember what else it was?
Starter ring gear.
Okay, well, yeah, that's right.
Split.
Starter ring gear. We did a split and reversing the split. I think I showed that on this one. So we've got it back in the shop because I was at his house a couple weeks ago and it was leaking quite a bit into a bucket, and we just got to talking about it and drained his hydraulic fluid months ago when we did the work. There was hardly any fluid in it. It had like literally maybe a quart and a half. It should have 2 gallons. So I didn't think much of it at the time, just, you know, kind of blew it off as no big deal. But now we've checked the fluid level and it's not even close to the dipstick. So it's been losing hydraulic fluid. So we're hopeful that it's not the pan and that it's just some seals in there. But either way, you're gonna get the benefit of it because we're gonna pull the seat and then we're gonna pull the top on this. So the first thing we'll do is we'll disconnect these lower links from the rock shaft arms. We'll pull the seat out. I'm probably gonna pull the plug here just to see if I've got any fluid that's leaking from the hydraulic reservoir into the transmission. I don't think it is. It looks like it's coming out our access hole up here by the PTO clutch. So I don't think it is, but I'll check it just in case. And so stick with us. This may be something you guys need to do on your tractor as well. So hopefully it'll be a help to you. It's kind of nice to be able to videotape somebody else. Actually, I think better video as well, so. Come on. You need my cutter, or we can just snip them. I've got thousands of cotter pins.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, let's just do that. Okay guys, so we're getting the wiring disconnected here so we can get it out of our way. And then once we've done that, we're gonna start pulling these bolts here. And that way we can pull this whole unit up. We'll use the cherry picker for it and some straps. So that's all we're working on right now. All right, guys, don't forget to drain your hydraulic fluid at this port here, and I'll show you how to do that. Clint's just working on getting the bolts loosened up here, but we want to drain that before we pull that top, obviously. Grab a different wrench. That's not 7/16, it's 3/8.
I think we need to take this shift lever out. I mean, it's going to come with
It's
the top.
going to come, yeah, it'll come with the top. You know, in reading up on this a little bit, it didn't look like there was a whole lot there, but basically that thing goes right down into it. So yeah, I mean, in my opinion, I say we get it out of the way just so we don't damage it or anything. All right. Okay guys, I'm just using the same thing I've been using every time I drain one of these. It's just an old power steering hose. It's not the exact thing that you need in here, but it works. You just want to make sure you push that in all the way or as deep as you can go with it. It'll still probably seep a little bit around it, but we can get over that. And then I'm just going to screw it in. But you can see there's play in it, and that's kind of what I'm talking about. It's not really designed for that, but it'll work.
Probably won't have much come out.
We may not. I suspect we won't. At least not a ton of it coming out. Dang on, it's like every time I eat something, it's the wrong side.
There's your shift.
Oh yeah. Let's take the camera and kind of look down in there a little bit. All right. Well, we'll get some leaking around that. That's all right. All right, guys, so Clint's pulled the shifter, and so just kind of letting you see what that looks like. You can see how it's got some springs in here, and then the shift rod goes right down into your transmission area there. And we're hoping that we've got some leaking somewhere right in here with one of the seals, but we're gonna find out. We'll pull the top, but I wanted to make sure you saw that.
Gear shift out, should it?
No, we might have a little bit of stuff flying up. Okay guys, he's gonna start the tractor up. We've got our hydraulic line hooked up here. We will get a little bit of seepage there at least. I'll just use a towel here and try to keep our spray to a minimum. But all you gotta do, guys, to drain this is just to start it up. Once you start the tractor up, the hydraulic pump engages immediately. So
I took it out in neutral, so it should be in neutral.
yeah, okay. I'll keep my feet out of the way just in case. All right, now it's draining the fluid. Already getting air. It's already starting to sputter a little bit. We haven't drained much into it, so. Starting to sputter like that, guys. Now shut it off. You don't want to run it with very little fluid going through there for very long. If you didn't do any harm by doing what we did, that's exactly how the service manual will tell you to do it. But just don't sit there and run it forever and a day when you're draining it. But I don't know how well you can see my pan. There's my pan, and that's how much fluid I got out of it. Now, I already had some fluid in it from the rear end, so that's not even all of the fluid that came out of it. Probably near half of that is from the rear end. So it didn't have a lot in it. There we go. All right, guys, one thing to note here is these two bolts here, and there may be others as we move along here, but to get these fully out and to get them unscrewed, I'm gonna have to remove this right here. I think this is our draft control or something like that. But anyways, I'll pull the pin here, get this thing out of the way so that I can get these two bolts fully out. If not, I'd have to keep lifting the thing as I'm undoing the bolts. It could be kind of a pain to do that, so we'll just take that off. All right, let's see what we can do to get this thing.
I'd go right, slide one over each
Yeah.
side and straight up.
Okay. Do that. I'm just gonna make sure our hook doesn't go anywhere funky. Try to keep these where they need to be. Got a little tension on her?
Yep.
Okay. All right, let me grab my lead. Where did I put my lead in?
Over there by the.
Oh, that's right, we were right there.
Yep, so come up in the front.
Yeah. Let me get some of this. Oh, yeah, we're coming up in the back too. Guys, on these bolts back here, the ones I said I was going to take off this draft control deal, that pin in there is really seized in there. So rather than do that, we're just lifting it up about 1/4 of an inch, and it allows us to be able to unscrew these bolts just a little bit further. And so we're hoping that we can do this until the thing comes off and not have to heat that thing up or anything like that. You want to try to pry bar straight over on the wall to your, yep, straight ahead. You go ahead and pry on that just a bit. Yep, here just a little. Yeah. This side here's not up as much. It's still going though. I'm wondering if that's shocked if it did.
Because everything's loose on this side. And
But,
we're
you know what?
leaning that way.
We are leaning that way. Let's give it a shot.
How do I let this back down?
We're looking at this because we might have a bolt that's holding
bring this
us up.
back,
Oh,
let it
just
down.
use your, yep, right there.
Flip it.
Yep, flip it. I would think that that sucker would be for this. Oh, man. That thing is on there, dude. I cannot be. Oh. It just came up. Wow. I think I might have just got that on video. I don't know for sure. All right.
Come up.
I need that pry bar. Oh, there it is. All right, let me see. I just want to make sure I'm not holding on to anything. I am. I'm holding on right here. Good thing. What's up there, Buckaroo?
Chasing the cat.
Yeah, he's always chasing that cat, it seems. I think I'm loose there, and I think...
Oh, there we go.
There she is. Wow. That went. And then maybe while we're out, we'll get a sledge and we'll try to get that thing. Hold on a second. I just want to make sure I'm not...
Kind of hold.
Yeah, we need to get this where it's not so front heavy.
I think you just
Think so?
kind of put some hold down
Tension
on
on that? Yeah, you're right.
Watch that PTO shaft.
Yeah, I see it. It'd be nice if they gave us a little spot on the front we could hook on and, you know, level that out just a little easier.
Whew, but that didn't go down.
It wouldn't have been that big a deal. We could have fished it out with a magnet.
The problem now is we got to go really high to get over the fender.
Yeah, we are going to have to go pretty high.
Haven't seen any holes,
No, just hold right there, and that's just...
holes where that anything leaking in the pan. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Right now, no. All right, so here's the bottom of the hydraulic pan. There's your pump. You got a seal here and a seal here, and we've got replacements for that. And of course, we've got gasket for the whole thing. I don't see any obvious...
What's that right there? Is that just a scratch?
Yeah, something's hit it before. They even got a little dent right there. Something hit that. I mean, I can feel it. Can't see it as much as I can feel it. I don't know. I say we get the pan off and take a look at everything. It's leaking. It's got to be leaking somewhere. I don't see anywhere. Of course, tough to tell on this. Let's get a picture of that. So that's our shift linkage right there. So our rod goes down in there.
What is that? A bunch of grease?
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Boy, the gears look perfect, man. I mean, look how nice that looks. This is what I saw before when I was in there. And these right here, these pull straight out. When you pull them brakes out, you can pull that right out there.
So, is there just like a hole near up here where that can get down in there?
I would say it's probably got some place in there that allows some overflow.
Because there's no. Is there a seal on this?
Yeah, there's seals down in there, but we changed all those out.
Mm-hmm.
Unless that seal's just not working.
Which I don't.
There we go.
If that seal was leaking, that whole rear end would be empty.
Agreed. Yeah.
There's not a lot of places for it to come from.
Yeah. Those aren't very tight. Now, I don't know how tight they should be, but I gave them a yank thinking they would be tight. And so I don't know if these will be the same, but let's just see. Yeah, that's, I mean.
And it could be a combination of that and but it's got to be a casting hole somewhere high that's letting that.
There's no lock washer on this one.
Maybe somebody's been in here before.
Somebody had to have been in here. There's no way that came from factory like that. I'm just gonna hit.
I'm just glad we're not seeing no visible, rust in the pan. Whoa.
Let's see if we can contain.
You got any?
All right, so we need to take off these and those 1/2 inch, and these are 7/16. Do we still have that 9/16 socket over there? I'm gonna need it for this. Yeah, I would have liked to, oh, there's the obvious,
But then again, I'm glad it's not that, because I'd say it's the gaskets.
Yeah, that's what I think as well.
It's either the gaskets or that seal on the pump.
Yeah. Somebody got a little bit careless on this.
Friday, 3:30.
Yeah.
Get off at 4.
Yep. I got the paint open at least.
There it goes. What's down in that corner?
It's just gasket materials.
Here you go.
Just like these over on that side. Okay.
That looks...
Excuse me. It looks like our pan's good, but as Clint was just saying, Kent Gordon down in Texas, he parts out a lot of 55s and 550s, and he had a pan ready to go for us if we needed it. We just had to give him a quick call, and honestly, very, very reasonable to ship it all the way from Texas to Indiana. But
It's gonna
it
be
looks,
like $95.
yeah, $95, so really cheap. But it looks like we've dodged that bullet, because honestly, our pan looks stellar. I don't see any issues at all with it. I think we had some gasket issues is what I think we've had. So we've got all new gasket sets, so we're gonna clean this pan up and clean up our gasket surfaces, and we'll get putting her all back together. We did have one bolt break off on us, guys. I wanted to make sure you were aware of that. Fortunately for us, we didn't really have to do a whole lot. Just put some vice grips on it, and Clint here worked it out of the casting, and so worked out really well for us. All right, guys, so Clint's over there finishing up the pan, the hydraulic pan, and I just wanted to give you guys another quick look at this hydraulic reservoir. Now this is without the pan. This is with the pan off, just so you guys know what you're getting into when you pull yours. So this is your pump, obviously. This is your piston. You can look down in there and see your piston. You can see the bore. The bore in this is just beautifully smooth. I mean, it feels fantastic. So really, really nice. I think this is your fill tube right here. But you can see the substantial pipe that they use. I mean, this isn't cheap stuff. This is really good quality. So that piston is actuated by your pump and your valve, of course. And then that, in turn, rotates your rock shaft arms up and down. So, and you can see everything in here. It's just like, I mean, this spring, it's like brand new. I mean, there's just no rust on this stuff. I mean, it's just amazing. And it looks like you've got an adjustment screw here. So if you find that your 3-point hitch is, you know, maybe not going up or down as high as you need, looks like you've got some adjustment there. You probably have some adjustment back in here as well. I'd have to read the manual to know for sure. We're going to clean up these little surfaces right here and get the old gasket material off. And then we're just about ready to put it on. We've got a little cleaning to do on the bottom side of this as well. We've got this cleaned up and we've got the pan cleaned up. So we'll just work on getting these surfaces cleaned up now. Let's do this, Mike. All right, guys, so what we've done is we went ahead and put some gasket maker, the right stuff on this, just a skim coat, and then we put the gasket on here, and that just kind of holds things in place. You want to stand over here, Clint? So Clint's going to kind of hold this in place.
Where were those gaskets?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. So if you see right inside here, try to get you guys a good view of that. Right inside there, there's one gasket. So that's going to go right up against this surface. And then the other gasket you'll see in a minute here is going to go on the outside. So got her. All right, and you've got some locating pins on the top and bottom sides of the tractor. Just like that. So Clint's going to hold that while I take our long bolts here. And good night. Just get that bad boy started and I'll get the bottom one. And we also have gaskets on this. So you have a gasket on the inside and a gasket on the outside. I'll just snag these up real quick. There's definitely on these a flat side. And there's a flat side and a top side. If you look at these, they've got just a slight arch. So that arch, you know that the arch would be toward the pan, because then as you flatten it down, it's pushing at the center of the pan and then working its way out. So that tells me that that would go on like that. And then this one here, it's also got a totally flat side and then a rounded side. So that tells me it goes like that. So I think they're pretty evident when you look at yours. Hopefully they will be. Okay guys, so Clint and I have now put some right stuff on the cast, and then we've put the gasket that come in our kit down as well, and that just that'll keep it from moving around too much. We didn't let that set up or anything. It's only been down for a few minutes. And then I'll just show you, we've got the pan on fully. Everything's torqued down. 2 bolts here torqued down. These bolts are torqued down and these are torqued down. That's important. And then we also use some of that right stuff, and we put just a little bit around the perimeter, just as extra precaution, just to take any precautions we can to prevent leaks. So now we're gonna try to lower her down.
Let's stop right there. Okay. Bring it back.
Oh, okay, back this way?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, we went.
A little more. Okay, that's
You good?
He's gonna move a little bit, won't it?
Yeah. Okay, we'll bring her down a little more. We'll just go nice and slow and.
All these are torqued good.
Yeah.
Everything, because this is our last chance.
Yeah, this is it. That's kind of why we've gone the extra step on all the right stuff sealing, is just to give ourselves every possibility of not leaking. Just gonna go nice and easy. You tell me if I'm going too fast, too slow, more, less, anything you need.
Okay, let's stop right there.
Okay.
Get this.
This will bridge it.
Okay.
You can let it rest on that board now. And if you want it to rest on that board, go ahead and let it. Yep. Just hold it right where you're at. If I can get the back. Let me grab Let me grab a punch so we can align our bolt holes with our gasket. Okay, I'm gonna come forward and I'm gonna bring, okay. I just need some alignment pins just to get us, can you see if I'm, oh, yeah, I think I just fell in a hole there. Okay, so.
We need to come down more pressure because we're held up.
Okay.
We ain't gonna go nowhere right now.
All right, tell me when. Now remember, we can't take the back completely down. We can, but it won't stay down.
I'd say if we need to start bolts.
Yep, we gotta start. We gotta start
good,
these bolts. Yeah, we gotta start these bolts back here. If you recall, these are the
gaskets looking good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to fandangle a little bit, I'm sure. But those bolts, if you recall, those are the ones we had to unscrew as we pulled it up.
Here, get that gasket. Where you want it?
There. Bring it down. Yep. I might have this one started. I just don't want you to pull me out of the hole. I may not have it started, but I might. It's started threading it. I'm pretty sure the other side is threading in. And I'm pretty sure this one is now. Which is ultimately, yep, that's ultimately what we needed. Yeah, we're threaded in. Okay guys, so Clint here is going to put the shifter back in. So we went ahead and cleaned everything, put a little bit of gasket sealer on there, got a little marine grease just for good measure. And there's a shift rail in there that he's trying to line that thing up with. Need a light? Does it feel like it's in spot? Feels good.
Yeah, it feels pretty good.
Yeah, feels pretty good. And he'll bolt this down, and then we'll test it out, make sure we're in the right gears and everything. And if we're not, we'll do it again. Not a big deal. It's just a couple bolts, but that's it, guys. Well, and that's the job, guys. We skipped a few things just so we could get her done. Got the seat back on. Of course, you guys watched us get everything bolted up, and then we've topped it off with hydraulic fluid. Right now, Clint's just strapping it down on the trailer, and we won't know fully if we fixed the issue until, you know, he's had it for a few days and run it and that kind of thing. He'll check that hydraulic fluid, make sure it's not dropping low again, and of course, look for indications underneath the tractor to make sure he's not leaking there as well. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I'm Chris with M7 Metalworks, and that's Clint with M7 Metalworks.